Hey, what's going on YouTube? What's
So I want to go ahead and talk real quick. We talk to y'all real quick. Um, so the draft is in about another 3 hours. Second round, third round. Not looking forward to it whatsoever. I know there's still a lot of good players left on the board, but after what I saw from last night, and I didn't think it was going to be that um, big of a reach, and I didn't think the Raiders would go that low. I'm not that excited for the rest of this draft. I really am not. Um, if they make a good pick, I'll make a video and react to it. But until I actually see that with my two very own eyes, I'm just gonna think that the Raiders are probably gonna take a kicker in the second round, even though we just re-signed Daniel Carlson. Just bullshit all around. You know what I mean? Even though there were reports, but there's major friction between the Raiders front office last night, and that you know there could be a people could be out of a job soon. So I guess the Raiders front office was really not happy with this pick last night. Oh, gee, I wonder why. Again, I like Alex Leatherwood. It's the value that I'm mad about, not the player. No, I'm not mad at Alex Leatherwood. I mean, Alex Leatherwood. I mean, let's see what happens with the guy. I mean, I think he can be good. I've always said, he's like a late first, early second. Actually, looking back at my mock draft, I actually had him in the late first round. Like he was there, and I just said, you know what, he's from Alabama. We just couldn't pick him. But with you having the 17th overall pick, I mean, come on now, come on. Man. Anyone you could have traded down as well. You could have possibly gotten him in the second round as well. There was a 60% chance you could have gotten him in the second round as well. And not to mention too, you're gonna have to make a play right tackle. That's gonna be really tough in itself. But then again, we probably would have done the same had we picked Darius Saw. And I'm not gonna lie, Alex Leatherwood actually has more upside than Darius Saw, in my opinion. But Darius Saw is more of a day one starter, and that's the thing. You gotta pick a day one NFL starter. That's just my opinion in the first round, especially when you're in a situation where you're trying to make playoffs next year. I don't care. I mean, Darren Waller said on his best on Good Morning Football, we're trying to make playoffs next year. And with I mean, this is just a dumb pick. It's a dumb pick. It's based on the value. It got me thinking for a minute. It got me thinking. Really, over the years, I've been critical of Derek Carr since 2017, 2018. You know, seeing him make some dumb throws, some dumb plays, some dumb decisions. But really, I feel bad for Derek Carr. Seriously, like I feel like he's given everything he's got, and I hate how people are saying like, why are Raider fans still sticking with Derek Carr? Well, he's the best player well, not the best player on the team, but like, honestly, like, in a way, I'm kind of glad that Gruden and Mayock are still kind of giving Derek Carr a chance because it's like every year in the system he's gotten better. Every year since 2018, he's had more than 4,000 yards passing. He's given it his all every single game. He's had solid stats. I mean, I'm not a Carr stan by any means. And if we would have chose the quarterback last night, I wouldn't be too upset. You know, but at the same time, too, it's like if this organization keeps doing what they're doing, then it's like we're wasting its career. Think about it. Like, what about the first 3, 4 years when he was here? We were actually going somewhere with Derek Carr. We came up a 3-13 year, but then we saw some hope in Derek Carr. We're like, okay, this kid can play. Let's just get him some weapons. Oh, hey, Amari Cooper, welcome to the Raiders. Michael Crabtree, let's see how you're going to do in Oakland. And that was a great combination. Seth Roberts, the running game with Latavius Murray. 2015, we improved vastly. 2016, we had a great free agency by adding in Bruce Irvin and whatnot. Khalil Mack, obviously, still on the team. We had a really good team. And then we made the playoffs. Derek Carr breaks his leg very next year. Derek Carr gets hurt again. Team starts to fall off. Teams completely fell off. Instead of just giving Jack Del Rio another year, because honestly, even though he's the head coach of this team, and I understand like 6-10 was unacceptable by any means. We should have never fired him. We should have never. We should have never fired him. We should have gave him another year, and then we decided to bring John Gruden back. And honestly, I at the time had no problem with John Gruden coming back. It's just the contract. It's just like, no, whoa, like, are you serious? Like, okay, this guy better bring me a Super Bowl very soon. That's all I'm saying. And then he blows it up. He wants to start all over. Okay, I mean, I don't know why you had one bad season last year. It's not like you had multiple bad seasons in like, but money wise, I get it because Khalil Mack wanted a lot of money, but it was a generational pass rush, and I think myself, there's no way that the Raiders can do this. Like, I'm sorry, like if Khalil Mack was a good pass rusher, like then okay, then whatever. But he's like the best of the best. Like you don't do that. But we got some good value out of it, 2 first-round draft picks. But then we traded a second. Okay, though, but we got 2 first-round draft picks. We traded a first-round pick for Amari Cooper, and I thought that was a very smart trade. I didn't think we would get a first-round pick for Amari Cooper. So we got all this draft capital. I'm thinking to myself, all right, bet. We're going to be fine. We got all this draft capital. We still got Derek Carr. John Gruden is back. We're going to be fine. We got a top 5 draft pick. What do you do with it? Oh, you draft Cleveland Farrell. Okay. Cleveland Farrell, don't get me wrong, it's a first-round prospect, but you could have gotten him in the later rounds. But okay. I mean, we'll see what happens with him. Then you pick Josh Jacobs, which is really the only pick that you can hit on, that you've hit on so far with Gruden and Mayock. All right, awesome pick. I love Josh Jacobs. Top 10 running back. Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. You pick Jonathan Abram. I actually like Abram. Needs to do better in coverage for sure. But, that's another good pick. You reached though for Farrell with the first-round pick. Then last year, you get Henry Ruggs. Okay, Henry Ruggs is actually a first-round talent. I had him very high in my mock. But to be the first wide receiver taken, I don't know about that. Especially coming from a guy who really wanted CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy too. But I'll take Henry Ruggs. Showed some flashes, but only had 450-something yards. Damon Arnett was the worst of the worst. It's like, okay, what the fuck are you doing? And it's like this car too. Like I'm just like, what is this car doing? He's just turning on the blinker the entire time, not even merging. Fucking idiot. But I was like, okay, whatever. This is our draft. We invested all this draft capital in. Let's see how it works out. So far, most of them haven't really panned out. The only players that I've seen panning out so far with those draft capital is Josh Jacobs and maybe Jonathan Abram, because Jonathan Abram can at least play. He's just got to do a better job in coverage. And I believe Gus Bradley will utilize him to his best ability. He's not an idiot like Paul Gunter. And then today was just Alex Leatherwood. You didn't even trade down. You could have traded down and gotten him late in their first. And today, the only way the Raiders I could somehow forgive the Raiders for this bullshit of a pick. Because again, it's the value, not the player. I like Alex Leatherwood. I do. I believe he's got some upside. Little raw when it comes to pass blocking. Very good when it comes to run blocking. And I guess the more I think about it, it's like Gruden's trying to play smash mouth football. And that's another thing, too. Like, Gruden's playbook. I mean, seriously, he needs to evolve his playbook. Some of his plays are so predictable, it's ridiculous. I mean, the Patriots kind of exposed that with Darren Waller. All they had to do was just double team Darren Waller, and boom. And stack the box against Josh Jacobs, and boom. I mean, I like the pieces that we got on offense. We got some good wide receiver depth. We got some We got Darren Waller. We got some pieces. We all around this offense. There's no reason why this offense should not finish top 10 or better next year. But honestly, based on how Gruden with this playbook, I wouldn't be surprised if we're mediocre next year offensive. Like we're just like in the 15-16 range, you know. And honestly, this offense should be better than top 10. I think it's like top eight or better. But whatever. And then defensively, I mean, like I said, man, today there's still a lot of good defensive players on the board in the second round. Christian Barmore, Trevon Moehrig, Jeremiah Owusu. But I'm not gonna get my hopes up. Why would I get my hopes up? Yesterday I made that mistake because I was just in a really good mood. Maybe because the Aaron Rodgers news, which I'm glad he's getting out of Green Bay. Green Bay's a shithole. So how much battery do I have left? Okay, so I can still talk. I'm almost at my job. Just doesn't make sense. Just last night didn't make sense at all. I really thought the Raiders wouldn't do that again. Like I thought by now, Mark Davis. I thought by now the front office had learned their lesson. They even stated like you know maybe there were some other players that we like that could have been available to us. Like oh. It's tough because I know this team can be a playoff team this year. I know this team could really do some damage this year, but when it comes to the front office, you got to have stability in the front office in order for your team to start winning, and they don't have that. It kind of sucks, because I remember back when I gave Reggie McKenzie a lot of shit, but at least he took the best players available. Like Amari Cooper was a need, got him. Khalil Mack was the best player available in the fifth overall pick. You got him. Derek Carr was the best player available with the second round. Was supposed to be a first round pick. You got him. Gabe Jackson was the best player available. You got him. Carl Joseph. I mean, to me, Trayvon Moore reminds me of the Carl Joseph in this class. It's a very good safety. Bit of a stretch if you get him at that, because I remember we picked around that same pick in the first round. Maybe he was a later first round or his early second round bloomer, but it is a need. I would say Trevon Moore would have been a bit of a reach, but it would have been a lot better than Alex Leatherwood, and I would have been actually happy had we gotten him. Either Christian Darrisaw, either I'm trying to think. Jeremiah Owusu, of course. Tevin Jenkins, who's still in the. I don't get how Tevin Jenkins and Jeremiah Owusu. I mean, there were a lot of teams last night that made some dumb picks as well. The Giants made a dumb pick. The Packers made a dumb pick. The fucking I'm trying to think who else made a dumb pick. The Saints made a dumb pick. A lot of teams made dumb. The Jacksonville first round pick. I mean, you choose Travis Etienne when you have James Robinson, really? Especially after the rookie year he had. Man, that just shows you that they're not confident in James Robinson's ability. And don't you guys got Carlos Hyde as well? I mean, Etienne, honestly, he might be good, but at the same time, too, this is a very weak running back class. I had Pittsburgh taking Najee Harris, and I thought at the time it was a good pick. But when I talked to the Steelers fan, he's all like, no, why would we pick Najee Harris when we need to address offensive line? How is Najee Harris supposed to run the ball when we don't have an offensive line? Like, they don't have Alejandro Villanueva anymore. They don't have Marquise Pouncey anymore. I'm thinking to myself, oh, shit, you're right. That doesn't make sense. Fucking Carr, bro. Jesus Christ. I hate when cars fucking don't turn on blinkers and want to merge, dude. Like, that really grinds my gears. Not as much as what the Raiders did last night by reaching, but it is what it is. We'll see what we got out of Alex Leatherwood. Not expecting too much. And I got him as a second round or maybe even early third round bloomer. It's funny is that like he was less of a reach than Damon Arnett. And honestly, I wasn't mad about the Damon Arnett pick. I'm just like, why? Because for one, he was a corner and he went to Ohio State. But it's like, was he even supposed to be a first round pick? And he wasn't. So yeah, it's really a shit show, a circus show at the front office, man. Kind of ridiculous, honestly. Uh, honestly, I don't understand how Mark Davis allows this shit to happen. I really don't. It starts to make me think at this point if he really does care about winning, if he does care about you know have putting together a winning football team. I'm sure his dad's rolling in his grave as we speak. Um, because even though Al reached for some takes as well, I mean, it wasn't as bad as this. I've never seen more of a reach like this in a long time, and that's why I kind of like, even though like again, I'm okay with Derek Carr being the starter next year and moving forward. It's like I kind of would have not been upset had we traded some picks to get a quarterback as long to trade for a quarterback like Russell Wilson, like fucking um, Deshaun Watson, or hell, even now with Aaron Rodgers. In a way, I was kind of hoping that we could have traded for, because let's be real, those guys are all better than Derek Carr. I don't want to hear any of these Carr stands, and you guys make me sick saying that like, oh, the only argument you could provide is if, oh, like I don't want to give up all the draft capital. That's fine, but at the same time too, we can't draft for shit anyway. So and I'll tell you what, if Derek Carr went to I'm telling you, I'll say it and I'll say it again. If Derek Carr went to a winning team, they'd be in the playoffs every year. They might be even be a contender, depending on how good their defense is. You put Jimmy Garoppolo on that 49ers team 2 years ago, they win the Super Bowl. I didn't stutter when I say that Jimmy Garoppolo or Derek Carr is obviously a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. And anybody, I think any real NFL caliber starting quarterback would have won a Super Bowl. Derek Carr is top 15, one of the 15 best quarterbacks in the world. So I believe he would have won that Super Bowl. The Niners, honestly, I mean, you can say all you want about them not being Mac Jones, but I think both of them were the wrong picks. I think they really made a mistake from passing up on Justin Fields. I think that's a mistake. I mean, I think what the Bears did, like the Bears actually got right for once. Good for the Bears, and
Yeah, and Sean Slater, that's a really good pick, actually. You guys actually when it comes to offensive linemen. I'm not saying these are bad pickups or bad signings or bad drafts picks. So you may think on paper you guys finally have good offensive line for once, and Herbert's not going to get hit as much. Let I guess my internet didn't like me talking shit about the Chargers. It was just saying, please, please, leave them alone. Leave the Chargers alone. Like, I'm telling you right now, Rashawn Slater on paper looks like a good pick. But when it comes to the field, like, watch the reach Cleveland Barrow get like 2, 3 sacks on him next year. Anyways, with that, this has been Ash Raider, and I am out. Fuck the Chargers, fuck the Chiefs, fuck the Broncos, fuck all your teams. Bye.